screen and give me a thumbs up if you can see that slide. You can see it, Deanna? Okay, awesome. You can hear me? Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're kind of figuring out what our personal brand is, because remember, in attraction marketing, you're branding yourself, not your company, not the person that you work for, not, you're branding yourself, which is what you do for people and what you're about. And today we're going to focus on the power of using video and Facebook Lives to grow your influence and grow your business. And whether you've ever done a Facebook Live or not, it's okay. We all started out with one, and it's a great time to start with your first. So I think I was trying to figure out when my first one was, but it was sometime in the last year. Like, I haven't been doing Facebook Lives that long. So I remember the feeling. I was hiving. There was like red hives coming up. I was like, oh my gosh, do you see that? And I mean, and somehow I kind of fell in love with it, because I learned how to be myself, and I learned how to do it. But I learned a sequence of what makes an effective Facebook Live, and I think that will help with your anxiety if you're having any, and really with the effectiveness of them, because we don't want to be just hopping on just to hop on. We want it to be really purposeful and impactful, and I'm sure you do too. So they say that a minute of video, and you can see this statistic, is worth 1.8 million words. And the way that whoever figured this out was, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. And so 1 minute video is that many pictures streamed together. The point of this, right, is it's way more impactful. It's the most impactful thing you can do. I froze up. Just a second, you guys. Oh, there. Okay. It's one of the most impactful things you can do if you want to grow your business and your impact. So let's just look at some research. By 2018, we're in 2018, which is really funny, 79% of online traffic is going to be video. And I bet you've seen that. People that didn't used to be doing video, they're all doing video. And it's like a tidal wave. You got to hop on, ride the wave, or else you're going to be left behind, and you're going to miss that sweet momentum of the wave that we all want, okay? The reason is videos tell stories, and they build emotional connections faster, more effectively, and we know 90% of purchasing decisions are emotional. They're not informational. So there's a reason why we do or don't, but most people, love Apple products and an iPhone. Like, it's emotional. Like, it's not like it's the only phone out there, or maybe the best phone. There's a reason. There's a reason why we might choose Nike shoes versus something else. Brands are emotional, and video helps relay that. Video grabs your attention. 60% of people are going to keep listening to you versus reading any texts. There's 3.3 billion hours of video on YouTube every month. 64% of people are more likely to buy a product online after watching a video. And video increases your know, like, and trust factor. It really accelerates that. And it's really useful for that. So it used to be, before we had all this digital media, social media, it would take about 5 to 7 touches to close a sale. And that was real kind of just general sales and marketing research. And now people need 25 to 28 touches, because we're inundated with information. We get more frequent contact with people, right? And so I don't say that to dissuade you. I say it to persuade you. Like, just hop in the water, start doing this stuff, and watch your influence grow faster than maybe it ever has been before. And I want to say a word about influence. So selling, I believe, is simply having influence, and influence means loving people, adding value to people, teaching people. So John Maxwell says, leadership basically is influence, which just means, like, do you have the ability for people to follow you, or want to be a part of what you're doing, or want to learn more? And we know, like, the only way to have that is to be a leader and to add value to people. So everything we're talking about here is to add value to people, which is great. So let me walk you through a Facebook Live. We're going to talk about Facebook Live today, and how to really the ingredients and the sequence and what should be involved. And I think it's going to help you feel so much better. So When you're doing a Facebook Live, you do want to have a catchy, compelling title for every live, because people are scrolling, and you have to give people, remember, you got to give them a reason to stop their scroll and click. And so you want to make it really catchy and draw them in. And so here are some really great examples. The secrets to, so these are the kind of first taglines, and you'll have this in your slides, but 3 ways to lose weight before summer comes. What to do when blah, blah, blah. 5 steps to take when you're wanting to build a business. What I learned from watching the Olympics and how it can build your business. Have you ever blah, 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 listen in. Whenever I do like a how-to, like 3 steps or whatever I've learned, maybe I've learned 3 things I learned from Brenda Bouchard's conference, I like to tie it in and how you can learn and how you can use these too. So I always like to put a command in there that's inviting people to see that this is for them. It's not just about like Erin and, oh, great for Erin. Erin's learning this for Erin. But do you see what I'm doing there? And how it can build your business also. Or something I learned by watching my daughter at the gym this morning and how it pertains to growing your mindset. Do you see? So I'm linking it in, like it's this catchy title, like what did she learn from her daughter at bodybuilding? But it's going to pertain to me somehow. Okay. So you also can use emojis in your titles. We're not updating now, Microsoft. We're not updating. Okay, you can use emojis. Emojis help visually people stop their scroll, right? And so I encourage you to do that. So always have a title before you go on. Okay, how to create an effective Facebook Live. So there's a couple guidelines that I like to share that help. The first is to start right away. And what I mean by that is you're not going to hop on and wait for people to start joining you before you start talking. So you're not going to say, okay, I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for my friends to hop on, because guess what? If you're one of those people that are waiting, you're going to hop right off. And so I don't mean you have to hop into your content the second you hop on, but I'm going to give you some things to say each time that's going to give you almost like a minute of warm up, which is you talking, but people are getting the ability and minute to hop on. Okay. So this is what I want you to think of doing every Facebook Live. I want you to hop on and I want you to say, hi, this is, and then I want you to introduce yourself. And here's where you can introduce yourself and or add your tagline. So I'll give you an example of what I do. So hi, everybody. It's Dr. Erin. It's great to be with you. Thank you for hopping on. I am Dr. Erin, your high performance and mindset strategist. And I'm so excited to share with you today, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I might say something like that. Or I might say, hey, this is Dr. Erin. I'm the owner of Massive Business Success Coaching. And thanks for hopping on. So that gives me some time, right? And then I say these things, and you can pull from whatever you'd like, but I say, let me know if you're new to watching my Facebook Lives, please drop the word new in the comments. And guess what? Every single time you hop on, there will be something where it's their first time watching you. So we think we're doing this all the time, and aren't people getting sick and tired of us, remember? And we're like, no, not everyone's either seeing us and someone's hopping on for the first time. So that's never redundant. It's never annoying. We can say that. If you have a free gift that you want to offer people, and that can be to get them on your email list. And if you don't have an email list, I suggest creating a free gift, and a free gift could literally be something you're talking about in that Facebook Live. So if you're talking about how to lose weight, make up a free gift. Find the top 10 fat burning foods, and have that be your free gift, because we want to have you have a reason to hop over to Facebook Messenger and love on people, give them value, and start having conversations and start connecting and serving them. So I highly recommend saying, if you would like to receive my free gift, drop the words free gift below and I will send that over to you after. If you're watching on a replay, drop the word replay below. And so you could have these 3 things on your Post-it note right there so you don't forget. You could do new, free gift, replay. So what I say with replay, drop the word replay if you're watching on the replay. I love my replayers. I want to get to know you and see what you're up to in the world. So thank you if you're watching on the replay, because most people are going to catch you on the replay. So you really want to honor them, make them feel good to be on, and also give you a reason to hop over and say, thanks for watching on the replay, right? Okay, so see how that can take like a minute. You also can chit chat a little bit if you want to and say, you can fill in the gaps a little and say, I don't know what you guys all did this weekend, but this is what I did, and it's Monday morning, and this is why I love Monday mornings, because it gets a little hectic in my house, and blah, blah. Like you can drop a little bit of just fun kind of content to give people a little bit of time to hop on. So see, you're starting to engage. You could even ask questions as you're going through that kind of casual conversation, like, oh my gosh, I'm just thinking, we went to the circus this weekend. Who's been to the circus? Drop a monkey emoji below. I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, I planted flowers all weekend long. What's your favorite flower? Drop that below. You see what I'm saying? It's going to give people a chance. And it's going to give you a chance to start saying, oh, hi, Renee, thanks for hopping on. Oh, I love tulips too. There's these tulips outside my office, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then you can hop into your content. And generally speaking, you can be longer on a Facebook Live than you would imagine. So you're going to gasp at, 8 to 12 minutes. But you can be it goes very quick when you're on a Facebook Live. Generally speaking, if you're brand spanking new, you can do a little less. You could get away with 5 to 8 minutes. Here's the thing though, Facebook Live is meant to function in a way where people are hopping on and they're interacting with you. It's not a video. So videos should be like 1 to 3 minutes at the most. A pre-recorded video. That's what I mean by that. But a Facebook Live is not a video. It's a Facebook Live. And so they go by quickly. You're going to start engaging with people. You're going to have stuff that you're sharing. 8 to 10 minutes is going to fly by. So don't be scared by that. When you become really well followed and you have a lot of influence, people will literally stay on for 20 to 30 minute Facebook Lives for people that if you're getting massive value for people, they will hop on and they will watch that replay. But just know that you don't have to do more than, 8 to 15 minutes is really a sweet spot. Okay. In Facebook Lives, I want you to think of being you times 2. So what I mean by that is it's a little bit more energy than a typical conversation. It's smiling. So I don't want you to be a caricature or a circus act of yourself. You do not have to be like, woohoo, and do all those crazy things. But you're going to bring a little bit more energy to it. And you're going to make yourself smile right away because it's going to capture your still frame within the first couple seconds. So before you hit Facebook Live, you want to be ready. And you're not looking weird. And I can teach you how to change that still photo if you want. But, when we're hitting our thing, we're smiling and we're ready. We're like, okay, hi, everyone, right? So, okay. So again, if I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm just talking like this and, then we did this, not a lot of people are going to stay on my Facebook Live. It just needs to be a little bit sit up. It just needs to be a little bit more animated. Okay. I always like to thank people for hopping on at the beginning, and you always want to thank them at the end. And then at the end, I like to reiterate who I am. I like to sandwich it, bookend it with who I am. So thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, my name is Dr. Erin, and my obsession is helping you grow your business and make money doing what you love, whatever you'd say, right? We always want to end a Facebook Live with a call to action. And let me tell you what that is. That is the reason you're doing a Facebook Live. You're doing a Facebook Live to engage, to teach, to add value. But in the end, you want to end with a call to action. Now, a call to action is just anything you're suggesting people do, either with you or comment below. So calls to action can be embedded in throughout your Facebook Live, and it might be like, hey, if you want to learn, like if you want to know more about, how to grow your mindset, I've got, some classes for that. Let me know. Just drop the word mindset or private message me. So your call to action could be private message me. It could be drop something down in the comments below. It could be, if you want to learn more about my upcoming boot camp, drop the word boot camp below and I will send that to you. So it can be a pretty direct kind of prospecting call to action. It can be that. If you want to know where I'm speaking next, drop the word yes or let me know. Just start kind of getting used to saying drop the word or drop the number or drop this emoji below. So that creates this call to action, this engagement throughout your Facebook Live. Okay, so when you start doing this, if you haven't been doing this for a long time, you're going to forget most of this stuff, and that's okay. It's okay. I didn't have calls to action in my first ones. I mean, I was just trying to get through it, okay? So this is a skill set that comes through practice. And I would put on my Post-it notes those cues and where I wanted to say them, because those were the things that I would forget when I would get anxious. So all of the questions like drop a heart emoji below if you love blah, 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 I would forget to do all that because, you're just anxious and you're trying to remember what you're saying and you're trying to see who's hopping on and, oh my God, am I going to forget? Am I going to go blank? So it's okay even to put on your little Post-it outlines, kind of your little order, say thank you. Call to action is this. But like I said, it's going to be really bad and then it's going to be good and then it's going to be great. So just start out bad. Like everyone does. We all do, right? Okay, so there was a lot in there, but that is really the meat and potatoes of a great Facebook Live. Facebook Live is not, in my opinion, the place to hop on and hope that you come up with something cool to say. Like you're going in. I'm kind of scripting it out. I have 3 things I want to share with you. They're on my Post-it note. I'm looking at them as I'm, talking, and I'm going through them and I'm thinking. And when my husband and I do them together, we kind of go through it beforehand and then we improvise a little, right? But we're like, I'm going to start. And I have that on my Post-it. It's like, Erin's going to start here. Then Garth's going to chime in about this. Then I'm going to do this. We do that every time. So we might make it look really easy, but it's strategized. Another thing to work on is something that I struggle with sometimes as I'm even doing this today. I'm looking at you, right? It's so natural to want to look at you when you're speaking, but you want to look in the camera. So you instantly feel like I'm talking to you right now. You want to build your likability factor, right? So you want to look into the camera lens as much as you can remember, and not at yourself. So you'll be on this Facebook Live and you'll see yourself and you'll be talking down here to yourself, but you want to look into the camera. And so again, just imagine someone's behind the camera, like a friend. Say someone hops on, like you're going to imagine them. Imagine talking to them and they're right in back of the camera, okay? Another trick that I like, this is a speaking trick. Imagine just talking to one person. It's not like you're going to use their name and just talk to one person, but just imagine it like you're having this conversation. I think the difficult thing about Facebook Live and what makes it psychologically sometimes even scarier than giving a speech is you don't get much feedback. So I hear that a lot. And it's weird, right? At least when you're speaking, you have the non-contingent head nodder in the front row, giving you love, right? Cheering you on, and it's hard. So that's why it's much more fun to do when you start to get engagement, because then you kind of feel like you're chatting with them and they'll respond back and then it's kind of fun. Okay, I want you to really think about you're adding value. You're not giving a speech. You're there to add value, and you're going to feel like you're selling a little bit less. Personal development is always going to grow your business, and it's going to show up in these Facebook Lives. I want you to think of being ridiculously consistent in your messaging. So Deanna's got a brand, Renee's got a brand, I'm always thinking of how I can turn my stories or examples or things that I'm wanting to share into my brand. So I might have lots of different content, like my daughter at gymnastics. Well, that has nothing to do with my business coaching. Well, if I'm telling a story about maybe she tried a front hand walkover, whatever they're called, for 2 years and finally got her own, I'm going to turn that into a story of perseverance and how daily habits lead to long-term success. And all of a sudden we're talking about my brand. So I hope that makes sense, right? That you want to be really consistent with your brand. You want to be known as that she's that health and wellness guru, and she builds business and she helps other people build businesses too. Oh yeah. So you can share these funny little stories and weave them in, but you're always bringing it back to your brand. And then be 100% you. So can't remember if I told this story or not last time. I don't think I did, but I say OMG a lot, I guess. And someone chimed in, and I didn't really know this person, but she chimes in and she's like, what is a person of your education using OMG for? And I just let my people, they just pounced right on her. They're like, you don't know who Dr. Erin is. We love her and blah, blah, blah. But you got to be you guys, like in life, on Facebook Live. Be you. Just be you. There's no right or wrong way to say things. Be you. Okay. Raise your hand if you have any questions as I'm talking, but I'll just keep going. So your brand is your content compass. And I want you to think of your brand is like this water you're swimming in that sometimes you don't even know you're swimming in it because you're swimming in it. It's like a fish doesn't know it's swimming in the water. And we think, well, doesn't everyone know about this? Like, no. You think about it all day long and you're seeing it all day long. And that's your sweet spot. What comes easy to you is your mastery sweet spot. That's what you're an expert in. That's your content compass. And I want you to think of, you have an endless supply of information to share with people. And I get lots of clients, oh my God, I don't know what I should talk about now. I've run out of ideas. I want you to think, okay, I'm not thinking about my brand and my content compass enough then, because you know what? If I'm a health and wellness coach, I'm pretty much can talk about health and wellness. There's something to talk about till the end of my life. I could talk about gut health. I could talk about sleep. I could talk about skin. I could talk about wrinkles. I could talk about energy. I could talk about what I just, the marathon I just ran. I could talk, you see what I mean? There is an endless lifetime supply of content for you. I want you just to figure out how to think about it. So I want you to realize you're always walking around with these ears that are your business and your brand. Like I'm always walking around with my coaching ears on, or my Melaleuca ears on, or right? Like you're just listening with those ears and you're seeing with those eyes, and content will just fall into your lap because you're looking for it. I hope that makes sense. I think that's super helpful and super important. Something to think about on your Facebook Lives is that you can ask people. For people to take action, we often just have to ask them. Number one reason they don't is we haven't. Number one reason they do is we ask. So you can ask people when you feel comfortable. You can say, if this was if what I shared was valuable to you, please share this video. It would mean so much to me. Or ask questions as you go, like what's your number one fear of public speaking? Or what's your number one fear if we're talking about fears, okay? Or what's the number one thing that you'd love to conquer this summer about your health, okay? And then reward that good behavior when people are chiming in. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh my gosh, I love that answer, blah, 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 okay? You never know who's watching. Again, I don't like to call out people that are just viewing. So you'll see everyone start hopping on, and not everyone wants a shout out that they're watching. But if they start engaging and writing comments, they love to be called out. They love for you to say their name. They would love for you to say, oh, hi, Renee, thanks for hopping on. Oh my gosh, your daughter looked so beautiful this weekend, right? They love it. When they respond to your questions, they love that you see the answer, and then you can even feed off of the answer and add on to it. Almost like you're speaking. Like imagine you said, you asked that and someone answered, you'd probably respond to it. If you were giving a speech, right? You'd respond. You'd say, oh, let me add to that. That's a really great point. So you could do that on your Facebook Lives. Okay, here's your ninja tip to get more engagement. And the reason why we want more likes, comments, and shares is that is a hot lead. So next week, we're going to talk about how to turn all of these comments, and people watching you, into leads, and then how to work your leads, which is prospecting. So up to this point, we're talking about marketing, attraction marketing. Facebook Live is indirect attraction marketing. It is not prospecting. You've got to go do that over in Messenger and how you follow up with people. So people will see your Facebook Live if you spend 10 minutes before your Facebook Live going and commenting on certain people's stuff that you want to be watching your Facebook Live. That will tell the algorithm to show your Facebook Live to them. So it's a little trick to do. If you have certain people, like I really want them to see this, or hear about my next program, or hear about my next thing, or start watching me, you could spend 10 minutes before you go live and comment on people's posts. It's going to bump you up into their feed. Obviously, all of that is genuine, and your friends see you as being real friends and not someone just with commission breath. And of course, we're always going to be genuine. We're always going to be genuine. Okay. When you think of doing a Facebook Live and posting and building your business on Facebook, I want you to always remember that your main job is to add value and teach. And when you do that, the selling naturally is happening. So the people who add the most amount of content and value win, right, in this marketplace. And you know what? That's probably always been true in sales, right? So if you start selling all the time, you're going to lose your audience. So you want to be a curator. And what I mean by that is I want you to think of gathering interesting stories or facts or teachings or resources and start sharing them with the world. Again, the things that you think everyone knows, they don't. People want short, simple, I would love 3 ways to learn how to have more energy. I would love to hear what Renee has to tell me about that. I would love that. Like, she probably has gobs of information about that. Another thing you can think of is maybe you've been reading something. Have that be your reason to come on a Facebook Live. Or maybe you read something in a magazine and you bring your book and you're like, I was reading Health Magazine and this is what they said and I want to add to it, right? Or I was at Brendan Burchard's for the weekend and I want to share with you what he said about blah, 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 right? There's always something you're learning about that you can share with other people. And then if you're new, and I mean if you're new to either Facebook Live or if you're new to the thing that you're sharing, like a business, show yourself growing. So I love, one of my clients did her first Facebook Live and she hopped on and she's like, oh my gosh, this is my first one. So give me some love, love. And I was told by my coach that I'm supposed to do this. And then she did it. And it was funny. She was like, I was told, like, I'm supposed to tell you to drop a 1. I don't know, drop a 1 if you like, like, you can be really transparent and show people. And that makes it so fun and it makes it so authentic and vulnerable and like, oh, and then for yourself too, it takes the pressure off and the edge off of like, I'm just faking like I know what I'm doing and they're going to know. And everyone knows I've never been on here. Just say like, here we go. I've heard this is the wave and I like to do what my business coach tells me to do. That's interesting. It says 1, you have a business coach. 2, you're taking your business seriously. Like there's a way to kind of share this stuff and it all is helping you be an influencer and sell and share. Okay. Okay. We're going to talk about conversion all next week, but the whole point of all this. I want you to convert like crazy. So I want you to reach out to anyone who comments on your stuff. You literally could reach out to everybody that comments on your stuff over at Facebook Messenger, and as well as commenting in the comments. Remember, because Facebook likes that now. So they want to see in your comments that you're interacting. So say they drop an emoji or they drop whatever you ask them to do, you can comment and start conversations in the comments with that person. And then I hop on over to Facebook Messenger, and I'm always setting up things to have a reason to hop on over, right? So then it becomes this, I'm just doing what I said I was going to do. You said you wanted my free gifts, and I'm just doing what you said you wanted me to do, which now doesn't feel like selling at all. Feels like serving you. And then I can maybe end that with like, tell me, like, what was your big takeaway from what you heard on the Facebook Live, or what's your biggest struggle with balancing life and family, or whatever the content's around, right? So I end it with a question. It's like a tag your it, gives you a reason to comment back on Facebook Messenger, and we can start either developing our relationship or closing the sale. Okay. So video builds relationships. We know we don't want to start selling before we build trust. So that's what video does. Okay. Here's my psychology hat. What to do when you don't feel like doing it. Sorry, got to just do it. But I don't believe in doing things without your dream being right in front of you. I don't want you just to go to work each day and do all these things without thinking of your dream. Because if you don't have your dream in front of you, you're just a worker bee. You're just an ant. You're like all the other animals, right? So we are the animals that can think of what we're doing and why we're doing it and who we want to serve and how we want to grow. And this is my mission on the planet. And I've been told this is the fastest way to share my mission is to get on Facebook Live. So here I go, and I'm scared to death, but here I go. I'm going to share my mission. Like, I want you to push through, right? And we know that you have to behave your way to different thinking. And so you're not going to be comfortable with it until you do it. So motivation, confidence, highly overrated. Like, we're going to do it, and then we're going to start feeling differently. Tracy Stokes did her first, she was in my last group, sorry. She did her first Facebook Live, and she's like, oh my God, that was so fun, Erin. I mean, it took her 3 years. 3 years. She's been talking to me. She's like, and then she told the whole group, I'm going to do it. And she didn't. And she goes, next week I'm going to do it. And she finally did it. Now she's on. She had like 617 views. We were all jealous. She loved it. That was really fun. And that's how I felt my first time too. When you see those hearts come and you're like, oh, now I get why people do this. This is kind of fun. And then when you start selling and enrolling, and it's easy and it's fun, but you've got to behave your way into different thinking. Okay, so I will drop this information in our Facebook group again, because I think I already did, but I have a light. I think it's important. Like, you want to be able to be seen. You want people to see you. Your lighting should be, in front of you, so the light is on your face. You don't want to do a Facebook Live in the dark where people can't see you. Like, you want to look legit, right? I'm not saying you have to look perfect. I'm just saying people have to see you. And then I always tell Garth, sit up, because he's always kind of slunched over, and I'm like, sit up, and it helps. It just helps. So I can give you recommendations for those things if you need to. When you're doing videos, so this is not Facebook Live, but when you're doing videos, there is this great app called YouCam Perfect, and it's free. And it gives you filters, and so you can do little video clips, and it makes you look really nice. So that's nice to know. And that is what I've got. So I will open it up if you have any questions. Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I did a couple Facebook Lives, and I totally screwed them up really bad because I turned the camera, and I was sideways. So, and I didn't know how to fix it. So what's the best way when you start a Facebook Live? You always start with, if you're doing it on your phone, you start it with the phone upright, correct? And then do you turn it sideways?
Anna, chime in if you know. I've never had this happen, and I was wondering if you figured it out after you did it, because no, you should be able, you set up your phone no matter what, and it will adjust to where you are, and then you hit, don't touch it after you hit go live.
Okay, because that's maybe what I did then.
Yeah,
Because
set it up beforehand, and you can go landscape or portrait, whatever they are. You can do either.
Okay.
If you're inviting someone, if you're like a ninja and you're inviting someone to hop on as an interview, that's on the next level. Then you want to do it is that landscape?
Okay.
Because then there'll be two of you side by side and it looks good. But either way, you can do either way. But yeah, set it up before you hit go live.
Okay, because that's what I did. I hit go live and then I turned it and it totally jacked everything up.
Okay.
Okay.
And
thanks.
I love that you did them and that you know, done is better than none. And no one cared, did they? They didn't care.
No, they just kept posting, hey, you're sideways. And I'm like, I don't know how to fix it.
Right. So
yeah,
that's about the scariest thing that's ever going to happen to you is that, you know, one time I have totally gone blank and forgot what I was going to say. I'm like, you guys, this is, and then be ready for that and be ready. I like to have like a joke ready for that, meaning not a joke, but be ready to say like, oh, this is why no one does Facebook Lives. Because I don't know what I want to say right now. And I'm just stuck here totally on the fly. Like be ready for something like that.
Okay.
Or say, what was I just talking about, you guys? And they will chime in and they will help you because no one wants to see you like that. So they will chime in a little bit. You were talking about, oh, thank you, Christine. I was talking about that. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's why no one does Facebook. The people don't want to do Facebook Lives.
Okay.
So be ready. Just be ready for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think until you get a following though, if you don't have a lot of people on, you just have to, like you said, just kind of wing it. And then if you can get yourself going, great. If not, I'll be back.
I'll be back. Exactly.
Right.
Totally.
One of the things that I did that helped me, and I haven't gone back to doing Facebook Live, but when I first wanted to do it, I created a private group for me and a client. And then I just did it with her. So then I didn't have a lot, you know, she loved me already, and I wasn't worried about posting it live. And
That
I've
is
done it
such
now
a great
in
idea.
small groups. So I've kind of been building my repertoire a little bit, getting more comfortable in doing it that way.
I am making a note to add that. Thank you. Because I hear that a lot and it's so true. And Tracy, before she did her first one, she did it in our Facebook group. She's like, oh, I'm not going over there yet. I'll try one here. Yeah, that's a great idea.
A couple of other questions. One is, I love the slides. And is there a place that you're putting those? Are you putting those in the Facebook group, or are you not sharing them because they're your private
No,
stuff?
I'm sharing them. Last week's I shared, and then I'll share them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. You know, one of the problems I have, and you're seeing it right now, and I don't know if I just need a different light, but I have the window in front of me and the light's coming in, but it glares off my glasses, and I can't see anymore without my glasses, at least if I need to read something.
Yep.
So when I do record, I've been shutting the blind and trying to bring the light in differently, but is there a way I can get around this?
Probably a light versus,
Light.
right. It's not, we can't see your eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if I'll have to play with it, but I didn't know if you might know if I need to direct it from the top down, and, you know, I don't.
Yeah, that one all depends on your light. Like there are $20 lights, and then there's the ring light for $119 that just makes you look fabulous, which I finally got. And I mean, and it turns light to bright. I mean, and you can adjust it no matter what, and it's like the bomb. So, but yeah, it's too bright, isn't it, Deanna?
Yeah, it is. And you can tell the one side of the room is a little darker because there's no light over there, and then the other one is where the window is. And I love having my window open, and I look out there and I feel good.
And see, when the light's in back of me, not good.
Right.
Now the light's there, but yeah, kind of sideways. So I need to get over here a little bit, you know. Yeah. And then often it's helpful to do it a little bit above so you're not like this. That's not a good look. See? So I have mine stacked on a stack of books. So there's just little tricks. Do you have a light, Deanna? Do you think you want to get a light?
I probably need to get a light. I just
take the plunge.
Yeah, there's a point where you just take the plunge. It's just
I know.
I've been plunging financially a lot lately, and I
Totally.
need to, the bank account is in need of replenishment first.
Yep. Yep. You could get a clip one for your phone for $10. You could just do the light like Kim Kardashian uses. You could start with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would start with that. Any other questions?
I was just gonna jump over here and see if I've got some other stuff, and I got it back here. Yeah, so now, like you said, kind of taking our brand and thinking about what we want to talk about next. So some of the things, like I've got a little workshop now that my buddy and I are putting together. So I'm thinking that I want to take the plunge and put it out there for my peeps.
Absolutely.
Um,
One tip there is don't put your sign up link in the title part. Put it down in the comments, and Facebook won't ding you. But you can say like, I'll drop the link after the Facebook Live. If you want more information on our workshop, I'll drop it below in the comments after I hop off.
Okay. And when you say that link, so now are you doing a lead page, or are you just doing the PayPal?
There'll just be a variety of things that any of us will be using at any time. So Eventbrite or a lead page or whatever you're using, or a Facebook event, that link will, sometimes just be the link.
And I haven't done payment through the Facebook event because I'm gonna charge.
So I do that through Eventbrite.
Okay.
So you'll get an Eventbrite address, and you can choose on Eventbrite, which I think is free, right? Right, Renee?
I haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's free. And then that link, you can create a Facebook event and link up in a Facebook event, it will ask for tickets, the link to buy tickets.
Right.
That's where you'll put your Eventbrite address, web
Or since
address.
I'm using PayPal, I could just use PayPal.
Yep.
I'm just trying to, Eventbrite's probably great.
Well, Eventbrite links up to the PayPal because you got to have a way to take their money. Yeah, PayPal, you'd have to say what your address is, or?
Yeah, there's actually a link. You can create a link,
Oh, okay.
And so I can get that from PayPal and then put that in there in that way. So like I said, then maybe what I really need to do is create the Facebook event, get that ready before I do the Facebook Live.
Yes, perfect. And then you can share that link. Perfect.
Okay.
And then when you're thinking, Deanna, about, your workshop, a Facebook Live could be like one of the 5 things you're going to teach. So that's one way to do it. You say, oh my gosh, I have so much we're going to teach that day. I only have time to talk about one of them. So that's one way to do it. Come to the workshop to hear the other 4.
Okay.
Or you can do a skim view of all 5 and say, we're going to deep dive into all these because that's not enough information for you to do much with, but that's an overview of my system, blah, blah, blah. So that's always 2 ways you can do a teaser of the content.
Okay. And my buddy is getting more confident, but she's not as tech savvy. And so even though this is a joint thing that we're going to do, I'm thinking the first one I'm just going to do live because I'm nervous enough as it is, and then I can bring her in on the next one leading up to it.
Does she live by you?
She does, and I can go to her place. She can come to me.
You could start there too. Play around with that, inviting her, because and her knowing where that's going to pull up, because that's going to be totally anxiety provoking, and she's probably not going to figure out the first time.
Right. Well, I think the first time I'll just bring her in here. She'll come here. We'll do it here together.
Yes. Right. You could even do it like show her this is what it's going to look like. You're going to hit this button and then you're going to be added on. For the first time you're doing it with her, like run her through that first.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we'll do 2 steps. One, I'll have her physically in this room with me, which we have done. We did a 9-week course where we did it live, where we were live 1 week, and then we did Zoom the second week, and we alternated that way, and it was really pretty fun. And most people liked it. There was one that said, no, I'd rather do it all in person, but a lot of people enjoyed it. So.
I don't know, Deanna, if you have anything, this pertains to Renee, if you have anything that you can do like a demonstration video about. People love demonstration videos. You literally, Renee, could do what's my morning routine? Here's the smoothie that I make. Here's the supplements I take. You're not saying the name of the supplements or the company, but you're saying, I take this for my probiotic, I take this, blah, blah, blah. Morning routine for champions. That's an awesome Facebook Live or video.
Okay.
If you want to know more about my morning routine, put some, sunshine emojis in the bottom or message me.
Okay.
Yeah. What are some other good ideas like that, Erin? That was nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so many. I tend to create content through the filter of, I'm always thinking, how can I turn that into something that's on brand? Okay, so I'm not trying to figure out what to teach. I'm figuring out something just happened in my life. How can I twist that into my brand? So that's probably why I feel like I have a never-ending supply, right? So say my daughter's boyfriend comes over and he is the world champion boxer, which he is, and we have a conversation. Then I start thinking, how can I tell that story and what I can, how can I share that and how can I lead that into my event? Oh, he said he has to be brave. Oh, I got a brave event coming up. I mean, like I'm trying to figure it out like that. So I go at it kind of backwards, right? How can I turn that into brand specific? But the how-tos, the 5 steps, the 5 things I learned, something I was just reading, 3 things I learned from watching the Olympics, like 3 things I learned from 3 things I thought about and how this pertains to your health. Those kind of things are always things that go really well. And then you want to become a storyteller. So that's a big tip, you don't have to teach as much as tell stories. Another thing I like to do is I like my title to be a question. So let's say you have one of my clients is a fashion consultant. Her title could be, have you ever stood in front of your full closet and thought, I have nothing to wear? Let me share with you 3 ways to make magic from what's already in your closet. If I want to teach on productivity, that's my brand, right? I can think, how can I turn this into a question regarding what I want to teach? So say I'm going to do 3 tips to be more productive. I'm going to think, what's their pain point? Okay, this is golden, you guys. I'll think, what's their pain point? And I'll figure out how to ask a question. So have you ever gotten to the end of your day and been busy all day and thought, I got nothing done? See what I did there? Let me share with you 3 ways so you don't have to feel that way anymore and you can be more productive. Cool. Good stuff, you guys. Is this helpful?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
So use the group in between before next call if you have questions. I'm thinking of going on, what do you think about this for a title? Or I cannot think of a title, blah, blah, blah. I do that for my clients all day long. So send those to the group. We can learn from each other.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining, everyone. I'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.